that really maybe networking is the thing that's undervalued. I mean, I think that really we met because of a networking opportunity. It started as that, but relationships are so important in business, and just being able to create those relationships and meet new people and tell them about what you want to do as well. I always tell new people to tell people what you want to do, because that also gives you a sense of accountability now. Like you started, you told somebody about it. Like now you kind of have that added, I don't want to say pressure, but added incentive to do what you said you were going to do. You said you wanted to do this. Now, telling people that encourages you to go out and do it.
Hey everyone, my name is Chris-Beth Cowie, and I'm the founder of amplify and the host of BizGrams. And every day at 11:30, it is my privilege and pleasure to have an awesome entrepreneurial guest on our platform. And today, none other than Jodi-Ann Campbell from Malcom's Choice, a friend and fellow entrepreneur, doing amazing things in our community to amplify the voices of Black entrepreneurs. So Jodi, good morning to you. How are you doing today?
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me. I'm having a really great morning. Thanks a lot.
That's awesome. Jodi, as the founder of Malcom's Choice, can you just tell us a little bit about how your entrepreneurial journey got started?
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't start off as an entrepreneur, that's for sure. Well, I think I more started off as a consumer, and just like everybody else, I'm kind of conscious about where I spend my money in that. And so when I was buying a house in 2015, I was really trying to be conscious about where I was spending my money, and I tried to buy a house Black. I wanted to use all Black professionals when I was doing that. So it was easy for me to find a Black real estate agent, so easy for me to find a Black mortgage agent. But when it came time for me to look for a home inspector, it was near impossible for me. I asked all the people that I knew, like we usually do, and nobody knew one. And so I went to Google and I typed in, and I was like, okay, Black home inspector. And that doesn't, or at that time, it didn't work the way that you think it would work. So that was really the thing that pushed me to be like, listen, I know there is somebody like me that is doing this business and so many other businesses. And I just think it should be easy for us to locate them and support them financially by shopping with them and buying with them. Yeah. So, I mean, that was really what started me being an entrepreneur, and that caused me to launch Malcom's Choice. And it's been a long journey so far. I officially registered my business as a sole proprietor in 2019. And after a year of doing that, in June of 2020, I was officially able to incorporate my business. So we're Malcom's Choice Inc. now. And the journey and the fun, it continues. It is an up and down journey, but I'm having a lot of fun with it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jodi, for sharing that. And definitely, oftentimes we hear entrepreneurship starts out of a need, right? And you're looking for a Black home inspector having challenges, and you're like, man, what can I do to simplify this need and solve this problem that many other people may be experiencing? So could you tell us a little bit about what is Malcom's Choice?
Yeah, Malcom's Choice, we are a marketing and advertising company, and we focus on helping Black entrepreneurs and Black business owners to come to the forefront. We want to showcase them and let people know what they're doing, where they are, and how we can support them. So right now, online, we have on our website, malcomschoice.ca, we have an online business directory where we feature hundreds of Black businesses that are across the Greater Toronto area. So right now we are focused in the Greater Toronto area, but we really want this to be a national initiative, a national corporation where we represent Black businesses all across Canada. We have recently worked on our printed directory. So not only are we online, but we're also in print, and that should be seen in lots of local Black businesses near you, like your barber shop or your doctor's office, law offices. And we really just want to have that representation across the city and ultimately across Canada, so it's easy for everybody to buy Black.
Hey, that's awesome. And such a powerful story, right? And, I think showcasing and getting an organization, a company like yours to champion entrepreneurs as they're doing their daily hustle, their grind, their serving of their target customer. It is so important. So thank you for the work that you're doing, Jodi, building this brand and the great work that you're doing there at Malcolm's Choice. So
Thank
Jodi,
you.
tell us a little bit about, you know, the journey, the you talked about the journey in terms of, you're starting this. What are some of the challenges you've encountered along the way, and how have you overcome them?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think, like I mentioned, I am not an entrepreneur at heart. So, well, not I'm an entrepreneur at heart, but I didn't start off as an entrepreneur. So, my background, I came from the hospitality industry. I used to be a restaurant manager. I did some business development and recruitment in the past. So, really, just not knowing how to build a business and having to have that learning curve and understanding that I needed to learn what it was to really be a business owner and be an entrepreneur, not coming from that background. So I think that was one of the challenges, just to discipline yourself and really understand that you don't know everything, and to look for the resources where you can find that information, where you can professionally develop yourself to be the entrepreneur you want to be. So I think that was one of the challenges. Another huge challenge that I found was building a team. So I think, as an entrepreneur, you need to understand how to effectively communicate your vision to people. And that's how you get people to kind of sign on to what you're doing. And maybe in the past, I wasn't doing that as effectively, but it's a growing process. And so in that process of growth, now I was able to bring on 3 new interns into the team, and just building the kind of business that I want to see, and just building like a major company, not just a side hustle or something. I want to build a corporation. So I want to make sure that I have all those systems in place so that my business is able to serve the businesses that I want to serve.
Hey, and that honestly, I think so many people can relate to what you just talked about, like from not knowing to knowing, but still keeping that beginner's mind open so that, you're taking in the information to build the structures for your business, which is so needful, right? And then, talking about that team growth and team dynamic, definitely if you're wanting to go from being a solopreneur, where it's just you, to running a business where you're now thinking, how can I duplicate myself and my efforts with the strengths and support of others. And that is so powerful for any entrepreneur out there that's looking. Definitely those are some helpful and insightful pieces to keep in mind as you're building your business and your legacy ultimately, right? So Jodi, can you talk to us a little bit about some of the great things that you're doing for the month of Black History Month this month?
Yeah, for February, for Black History Month, we have partnered with the Charles Matthews Jr. Show, and what we're doing is we're showcasing a Black business every day of the month from Malcolm's Choice. And I think it's just been really great so far, because we've been able to showcase a variety of businesses, not just people in like skincare, but we've gone to people that are in healthcare, we've gone to people that are in finance, people that have product business, people that have restaurants. So it's just showcasing that variety of businesses that are out there, and the variety of products and services that they have to offer.
Hey, that is so powerful. And so, Jodi, as someone that's looking at us today and, contemplating how by connecting with Malcolm's Choice, like, what is the value? What are some of the benefits about being on your directory, on your platform? Can you speak to us a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that it's very important, especially in this day and age, to have an online presence. We have to be where our customers are. And a lot of the time our customers are online. And what I've found is some businesses, they don't have that presence online. Maybe they don't have a social media. Maybe they don't even have a website. And the benefit of getting onto Malcolm's Choice, even if you don't have a website, is it gives one place where your consumers can go and get all that information that is about you, where to find you, what are your opening hours. They can view pictures of your business, and it connects them to all of the other facets that you may have online if you do have social media as well. Another really important aspect of Malcolm's Choice is our review feature, because we want people to have that social proof. Whenever I go to buy something, or when most people go to buy something, they search it online, they look for the reviews. That gives them the social proof to know that this business is delivering on what they say they're going to deliver, and they're doing a great job at it. And then so that's why I thought it's so important for us to include the review portion of Malcolm's Choice there, because a lot of times we are faced with those misconceptions about Black-owned businesses, that they're not delivering, or they're not, there are a lot of misconceptions about Black businesses, but we want to dispel that and to showcase the excellence of these businesses that we're trying to feature in the community.
Hey, that's so powerful. And in terms of who can be, on this directory, is it a specific niche? Like you mentioned health, you mentioned hair care. What type of businesses are you looking for?
Yeah, in terms of businesses, I think it's more of anybody that identifies as a Black leader of a business. They can put that onto the website, but it really is so people can know that you're out there. Because a lot of times, people just don't know that. You don't know what you don't know, right? So it is really about being in a space that is marketed to like niche targeted markets, people that are looking to support the community, people that are looking to support Black businesses, and you're in a space that is targeted for that, and they can find you there.
Hey, that is so great. So if you are an entrepreneur, you identify as Black, you're looking for added visibility for your business, definitely you want to have a look at Malcolm's Choice. And Jodi is amazing, right? Jodi, we go back a little bit in terms of meeting, I believe in 2017 around there, really, when we were starting the Afro-Caribbean Business Network. And really at that point, it was, entrepreneurs like-minded coming together and having a discussion about some of the challenges, but also opportunities that we can create together as a collective. And so Jodi, from that perspective, I see Malcolm's Choice continuing to do that collaboration with entrepreneurs in the community. And it is truly powerful what you're doing to make a positive difference in Brampton and beyond. GTA, I think you said you're targeting the GTA at this point in time, correct?
That's right.
That's awesome. And so Jodi, if you have any tips or advice for entrepreneurs, what would it be?
I think that really maybe networking is the thing that's undervalued. I mean, I think that really we met because of a networking opportunity. It started as that, but relationships are so important in business, and just being able to create those relationships and meet new people and tell them about what you want to do as well. I always tell new people to tell people what you want to do, because that also gives you a sense of accountability now. Like you started, you told somebody about it. Like now you kind of have that added, I don't want to say pressure, but added incentive to do what you said you were going to do. You said you wanted to do this. Now, telling people that encourages you to go out and do it. On top of that, you never know who you're going to find along your journey. And as you go out and you tell people what your dream and your vision is, those people that are there to support you, that want to support what you want to create in the world, they will come and they'll make themselves available to help you to grow. So I think that's really my top tip. Just get yourself out there and talk about what you want to do. Speak it into existence. Hey,
that is so powerful. And I definitely would second that. Networking, building relationships. But Jodi, COVID is here. I shared with you earlier, I'm working from home today because of a snowstorm. Do you have any tips or advice how people can network or build relationships during this pandemic?
Oh my gosh. To be honest, I feel like there are more events happening right now than there were before. I don't know. But one thing I will say though, is for me personally, at first at the beginning of the pandemic, I was saying, the virtual space is not really for me. And I really like to meet people in person more and all of that. And that still is true. But I think it's just important to keep abreast with what's happening with the community that you belong to, depending on whatever your business is, right? So I keep abreast of what's happening with the Black community, what events are happening. And I attended an event that you all recommended to me last week, and I made 2 amazing connections that I think that I will be able to take forward. So it's just a matter of putting yourself out there, look for what's happening online. You get dressed up a little bit, you're still at home, and you can still do the whole networking thing a little bit too. So just be intentional. Be intentional with what you want to do. And yeah, book yourself to go out to do 1 or 2 a month. It won't hurt.
Definitely. I will say, definitely when I'm not going to the office, put on a nice top at the up top, and then down below it's the PJs, the cozy socks. And you can definitely, go to multiple places. In fact, by being as I will agree with, there has been many more events happening online since COVID. And I have 2 computers. Sometimes I'm in a meeting here and a meeting in the other one. Craziness. So now I could be in 2 places at once. Awesome stuff. But
technology, right?
Technology. But yeah, to your point, it's about building meaningful relationships during this time. And if you are like, I think both of us, we love meeting people in person, stepping outside of your comfort zone a little and getting online. And your point about the commitment, my goodness, I've been talking about BizGrams for over a year now. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to do this thing. And everybody kept saying on my team, when are you doing this thing? And I said, you know what? We're going to start in the month of February. So we started, and now it's about the commitment, right? I got to show up every day. I'm meeting awesome people like yourself, and really not knowing how everything's going to unfold, but really trusting the process and trusting the growth. You talked about growth, so powerful. As you're on this journey, right? As an entrepreneur, I was wondering, in terms of any books you're reading, insightful things that you've read thus far, a book that you can even recommend for Black History Month, just any books or recommendation in terms of knowledge.
Yeah, for sure. I always recommend the 5 hour. I think the 4 hour work week. I might be getting it's by Tim Ferriss, but I always recommend that one. Yeah, 4 hour work week. I thought I got it wrong, but yeah, I always recommend that one. And the reason I do recommend that one is because it kind of introduces you to new ideas on how to build wealth. We're kind of married to the one idea, like, you get a job and you work and you save, et cetera. But I like the concept in that book about the new millionaire and how you can be on a yacht somewhere and still be able to generate wealth for yourself, just with the magic of technology and the internet. So I like that one. For Black History Month, my book recommendation is The Miseducation of a Negro by Carter G. Woodson. Honestly, I didn't include that when I said my entrepreneurial journey, but I think that was just part of my development as a person, and just really me recognizing my identity as a Black person and how I wanted to contribute to my community. I thought that one was great. And currently I am listening to the E-Myth, and that's off of your recommendation. So listen, I just got past chapter 2, I think last night, and he was talking about the entrepreneur, the technician, and the manager. And I was like, whoa, this is super cool. I think I'm a lot entrepreneur. I'm really entrepreneur, not as much technician, and definitely no manager. So manage me, send me a manager, people. All right.
Hey, no, that's powerful. Jodi, thank you so much for that. And yes, if you don't know me, you need to know, I love the E-Myth. As entrepreneurs, I recommend it. And really, as you get into that book, Jodi, you will see, you spoke about it. It moves you from just thinking about just me today, the pa shop, startup, but really, how do I start thinking about scaling this entity? And it has encouraged me to redesign even my business. So I started my first business in 2015. It was me showing up, doing presentations, workshops, all of these things. And I love talking to people, clearly you can tell. But really then saying, okay, if it only depends on me, then I'm the bottleneck. I'm the reason why growth doesn't happen. And when we were really reimagining what our space and our work could be, I wanted to design an entity where I didn't need to show up. And by God's grace, we've grown, we've tested, COVID happened, and we're still here. Thank you. But, really just challenging what the perception of, oh, I'm running a business is all about. So definitely some powerful tips there.
Yeah.
And one other thing you talked about, that the book that really helped you, understand your identity as a Black woman and really step into that truth. I just want to know, as on your entrepreneurial journey to date, how has that experience been for you as a Black leader in your own organization? How has that impacted you, or in any way?
Yeah, I mean, I think that really my journey has a lot to do with my son and the legacy that I want to leave behind, right? And I just think it is important for us to try to build something that does outlive us. I think that as an entrepreneur, what I've learned about a lot of Black-owned businesses is that when that business owner dies, their business kind of dies with them. And I kind of want to, that's kind of something that I keep mindful of. And I want to, see that change in a way that we can have, businesses that do outlast us, that we can pass down to our children, and that we can create maybe franchises out of, so that we can see one on every single corner, the way that we see Tim Hortons on every single corner. And that's really what drives me to see a business that I can see all over the place. And I know that's a Black-owned business. I really want to see that happen.
Hey, I love it. I love it. And the analogy of Tim Hortons on every corner, similarly, it's, we think about that duplication, right? It's all about, hey, I created something, could it go to the masses, and how do I distribute it effectively and efficiently as well? One thing, every time someone makes the reference to Tim Hortons on every corner, Blockbuster on every corner comes to mind at the same time. And if I don't know your age looking at this, but Blockbuster existed before Netflix. I think because of COVID, the last Blockbuster in the world just went out of business. Yeah, but it's interesting because you have a business like Blockbuster that didn't innovate, that didn't move with the times. And Jodi, I'm just curious, in terms of tips and advice for entrepreneurs as they're thinking about, being innovative, moving with the times, what can you tell someone to do,
I would say just make sure that you're doing your research and continually learning about your industry, whatever industry that you are in. Know what the latest trends are. Like if I'm in the marketing industry, right? I'm in marketing and advertising, so it's important for me to know what the latest trends in marketing are, where the audiences are going, and what is the consumer behavior in that space, right? So I feel like in the example of Blockbuster, if they realized that everybody was moving online and everybody started streaming videos, if they maybe converted into a streaming service, things could have turned differently. So were they, up to the times on what's happening in their industry? I don't know, but that's what we need to do. I think that's the most important thing, to continually learn and continually stay on top of what you're doing and in your market, and play in that community, if you get what I mean.
Totally. And it's so true. I'm in my work as a business consultant, helping people to start businesses, grow their businesses. The biggest thing that I see lacking oftentimes is that research. And sometimes they expect me to do it. And I say, I'm not your industry expert. You need to be that industry expert. And so my encouragement, if you live in a city, and all of you do, go to your local library. Libraries are free. You can get a free library card, and oftentimes they have a business section, and you need to go talk to a librarian and get that research done to understand your industry from, a secondary research perspective, but also by keeping the finger on your pulse, engaging with your customers in this virtual way, doing some primary research as well, right? So it's so needful as you're thinking about growing, developing, and duplicating and scaling your business ultimately.
Yeah, for sure. Totally agree.
Yeah. So Jodi, in our final minutes here together, I have one final question for you. What is a phonetical thing you do to express self-love? And for those of you who do not know what phonetical is fun and epic adventures, great or small, that you do to express self-love. So Jodi, over to you.
You know what? I'm not entirely sure, but nobody gets to see this fun, epical thing that I do. I turn the music really loud and I just dance around by myself, and that's what gives me joy. I mean, I'm a very musical person, so music and just I like to keep the environment happy and light, and that helps me to keep my mood happy and light as well. And that's when I'm the most productive. So I just kind of understand myself, understand what I love, and I just lean into that a little bit.
Hey, and it's in those private moments that, isn't on social media, public to the world, that we get, as you said, you get to know yourself. But oftentimes that's where some of the best creative moments happen, right? And I know because we live in a digital age, everyone's putting out video and content. You may have even seen me do some dances. I like to dance. I like to have fun as well. Although I would say my dance move is improving. So, I'm talking about doing a TikTok dance. We'll see where this goes.
But I love it.
No,
we're all trying to TikTok.
Yes, going again with the trend, right? But honestly, Jodi, I could definitely resonate. Turn that music up and you just boogie the way that you love to and make yourself feel happy and know that. And here at E4X, you are loved by us here, and we celebrate entrepreneurs. Yes. Know that we celebrate and champion entrepreneurs like yourself. Jodi, can you just tell people how they can find you if they would like to connect with you once more?
Yeah, absolutely. You can visit our website, www.malcolmschoice.ca. That's MALCOLMS choice.ca. We are on Facebook, we're on Instagram, and we're on LinkedIn. At Malcolm's Choice for all of those. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm Jodi-Ann Campbell. You can find me there, as well as, I think that's everything. I think it's covered up. You can call me. My phone number is 647-975-4454. I hope to learn more about your businesses out there too.
Hey, that's so powerful. You can call her, okay? And definitely, Jodi, one of the things that I love with just Malcolm's Choice, and you can find it everywhere. A couple of days ago, I was talking to one of our guests, and it's like, get your online real estate right away. So if you have your company name, get your domain name and secure all of the social media handles to match. And I just love that. And similar for us here, it's Empowered Facts, and go search that on every social media. We're there. You're going to connect with us that way as well. Jodi, from our team to your team and the great work that you're doing to champion entrepreneurs on this cold, wintry day in Canada. You could be wherever in the world, but here in Canada, it was a snow day. Kids were supposed to go back to school today. They got another day home with their parents.
I love it.
Yeah, I'm not there yet, but I know you mentioned your son, and I was wondering, were you planning to send him back out to school today?
Yeah, I was planning to do it, but it's okay. We can keep him for another day or so. We'll see what happens tomorrow.
Hey, that's awesome. That's awesome. Lots of family love happening and bonding time. I know it's difficult for some people out there, so know that we are thinking about you and hoping that you can find government resources to help you navigate this time period as well. But we will be signing off now and just saying thank you all and see you tomorrow. Take care. Thank you so much, Jodi. Lots of love.
Have a great day. Bye-bye.